I'm the Loy Machedo Sweeney from LoyMachedo.com. Who is Loy Machedo and Think Personal Branding? Now, imagine you're at the interview, everything is going fine, and then this interviewer brings up the question which is the most uncomfortable one, and the question is, can you tell me your weaknesses, or what are some of your weaknesses? Now, when someone asks me a question like that, what I tend to do is I divide it into threes, the principle of threes. The first one is I state the obvious. The second one, I state something that is not the obvious. And third one, I state something that he didn't notice. For example, okay, let's say what is obvious. Now, if you were to see my personality, you would see that I'm pretty loud. I have these tattoos. I love to be noticed. I'm, brash. I'm very aggressive. So the first one, which is very obvious, is I'm very loud. I love to be noticed. I love to be different. I love to stand out. So the first one would be the obvious one. The second one, which is not so obvious, I would tell them that I love attending conferences and seminars. So even if it's on a work day, I would still make time to go for conferences and seminars. So that doesn't actually add to, let's say, in terms of productivity, but it adds value in terms of, let's say, making contacts and connections in the industry, which can help the company. Okay, so that one was not so obvious. The third one is something that they totally didn't notice. Let's say, I would say that when I work, I totally work, but when it's time to switch off, I completely switch off. So 5 days a week is where I work. The 2 days that are off, I totally switch off. So that can be looked upon as a drawback. But then once you state your drawback, also give them a solution or an option. So let's say, he would say that, oh, but the seminars and conferences that can really harm productivity. Say I would sit down with my manager and decide on dates which would not hamper the work, or I would give him an advance notice. And worst case scenario, I would, either take a day off, which I would make sure that I get a permission for, or I would attend the conference after office hours. So that is where you're given a solution. Or let's say about switching off from work. The answer to that is, if something is really urgent, let's say we have a project that really needs to, be completed and we are pressed for time, or it's a target-driven project, yes, I can be available, but I don't want it to be a trend. So that is where you put down you put your foot down and let them know what is what. Okay. Now, let's say, for example, now, if you are asked your weakness, you can always say something like, I do not know Arabic, or I'm new to the culture, I'm new to the market, I do not have a track record in this country or in this industry. If you're young, you can always bring forward lack of experience. If you're, let's say, senior, you can talk about your age factor. You can also speak about your personality. Are you an introvert? Are you an extrovert? You can say that one of my weaknesses is, I as a leader, I need to be noticed. I need to be flamboyant, but which I'm not. I sometimes do not know how to express my feelings when I should be expressing my feelings. I do not know how to say no. So you need to, give your weaknesses, but at the same time, remember, after you're given your weaknesses, tell them what are you doing to overcome that weakness. Let's say you do not know Arabic, but I'm trying to learn the language by going for extra classes. I'm new to the market, so that is why I'm spending time making new contacts and connections. Let's say I'm an introvert, that is why I'm working with a coach who is helping me break out from my shell. Or let's say, I do not have track record in sales. So that is where I'm taking the step forward to prove myself in sales and get sales. But one thing I want you to keep in mind is, do not underestimate the interviewer. Don't think the interviewer is stupid. Don't try to give him a hidden strength. Say, I work so hard that, I faint in the office. Don't try to fuck around. Okay. People are not stupid. People are not dumb. So don't give a hidden strength as your weakness. It never works. Be honest about it. However, there are some things that you should not say. Don't say, I can't take bullshit, or I love to waste time on social media. I love women. I've even had guys who have said this. So please be careful what you state as your weakness, because it'll be kept in record. Okay, it'll be stated. So this is what I would suggest if you ask for a weakness. Be intelligent in what you say. Follow the 3-step process. The first one, state the obvious, which they can obviously see. Maybe your age, maybe your lack of experience, maybe you love to be an attention-grabbing individual, maybe you are an extrovert. The second one, state the not so obvious. That is, okay, something that is, which they would have never noticed, but it is like, okay, fine, he has that. That's okay. Let's say, for example, I love to work for projects which are short. Long duration projects, I tend to lose interest or steam. That is after a period of 6 months or 1 year. So, people know that, okay, this is understood. And last one is state something that they never noticed. Say, I love working in the gym after office hours. So they'll be like, oh, that's okay. Or, I'm a member of these clubs where, not nightclubs, I'm a member of these personality development clubs. So they're like, okay, whatever. So first one, state the obvious, not so obvious. And third one, something which they didn't notice, but it doesn't actually matter. So what happens is then you actually bring things on the table, and that is where they know that you have answered the question. Please avoid trying to bullshit with them. Avoid trying to state your hidden strength, because they are not stupid. They have been doing this for ages and they can see through you. So Lloyd from LloydMachedo.com. Who's Lloyd Machedo and Think Personal Branding. Like the video, give it a thumbs up. Don't like it, thumbs down. Put your comments, always read them. And remember, it's always good to have a coach before you go for a life-changing interview which can help you get a job. So I wish you all the best. Take care. This is me signing off.